welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in at everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip.
Now, did anyone else see Marsau running from Kiki's husband, Armin? I mean, man was running around that table. After he threw the shot at his wife, he was running around that table. It had me cracking up. Now, Martel had me cracking up as well because he was just standing there with his drink, just looking like he just needed some popcorn. He's just taking it all in. Now, I ain't condoning what Kiki did. You know, what she did throwing the drink was definitely wrong, but every action definitely gets reaction. But I also don't agree with Marsau, mocking Kiki's drug addiction. I just think that's just absolutely wrong. But that is why her husband had him running in circles around that table and hiding behind the women. Well, next people, my inclusive crew, let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We pick up from the barbecue mix-up. Like I said, I don't agree with none of the behaviour and causing mix-up at people's yard. Like, that was wrong. Maurice and Kimmy put on a barbecue and you lot come with your little hoodlum behaviour. So it wasn't very good. But like I say, essentially two wrongs do not make a right. I think that Kiki wanted to, look out for her cousin. She didn't go back the right way, but really she just needs to leave her alone. Just leave Tisha alone and stay out of her marriage, because she's not the only one who's tried to raise cheating allegations. Think about it. You've had Mel. She mentioned it much earlier when the show originally started. You've got Tisha's mum. She's come many times with rumours and allegations about Marsau cheating and things that she's seen. And then you've got Kiki now also coming to try and help Tisha to see what's going on about these alleged allegations. But Tisha is not hearing it, and she doesn't want to hear it. All she hears is what Marsau has to say. And I feel like it's impacting her relationship with her family members because obviously they are concerned about her. But you can only be concerned about people to a certain extent, because it's her life and she's going to do what she wants to do. And it just seems like it's interesting, because I don't know if anybody else notices, but whenever they're there speaking, and it's both of them, Marsau and Tisha, usually he's always like, either correcting her or speaking over her or cutting her. But when it comes to her going in on her family, he definitely lets her, run free. But it's interesting to see this all unfold because, there hasn't been any proof of any cheating. The allegations and the rumours have been going for a very long time, but there's no proof. So if he is cheating, he's doing a good job of hiding it. Maybe he's getting them signed NDAs, maybe he's paying him off, whatever the case is. Or maybe he's innocent. Or maybe they have their own agreement where, she turns a blind eye to whatever's going on and maybe she's happy with that. Or it could be a case of maybe she's scared to face it and the potential fallout from it, i.e., a divorce, because clearly he runs the show and maybe she doesn't know what she'd do without him. Who knows what the situation is there, but I do believe there's no smoke without fire. But again, there is no proof. So at this point, if Tisha ain't bothered about it, why should you be? Now, Marsau making fun of people's addiction is just out of line, but I mean, we know Marsau can be an asshole, so it's not surprising, but I just thought it was just definitely out of line. But I'm glad that Tisha's cousin Courtney and Stormy tried to check him on that. But I also do agree with Kiki's point where she feels like Marsau is using her addiction situation as a way to deflect from the accusations of cheating. He is always good at that. He always finds a way to deflect, be it with Tisha's messy mum or with Kiki or with Mel or whoever. He is very good at that. I do think he was wrong for wanting to provoke Kiki's husband, because Kiki's acted out of line. You're going to provoke the husband. That's very immature behaviour. Had you not provoked the husband and said the thing about the addiction, maybe it might not have gotten that way. Maybe he would have gotten her together actually, instead of actually coming at you and having you running for the hills. I don't agree with any of their behaviours. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? You don't come to people's house acting up, and you don't use dash water at people or drinks at people because they're ignoring you. But again, Kiki's admitted that she's got anger issues and she pops off. She's a Scorpio. Some of these Scorpios out here definitely pop off. But you got to learn to control yourself. Now, Stormy made me laugh because she was standing on her square when Tisha said to her, when they were talking about, calling her husband a bitch, and Marsau brought it up and said, well, you said it to me, and he doesn't agree with people with the wives speaking out of turn to the men, right? And you've got Tisha saying, oh, so do you feel like you owe Marsau an apology? Stormy was like, no. I was like, all right, Stormy, stand on your square. Stormy, I feel like she's got a good heart, but she's rough around the edges. But yeah, she stood on her square. But it seemed like they kind of somewhat squashed it. They kind of shook hands on her, not calling him a bitch again. But again, Marsau does like to pick product people. So if you keep doing that, like I say, every action gets a reaction. But I'm glad that Marsau did get up and apologise to Stormy for upsetting her about the whole drug abuse comment, because he just does go too far. And I just felt like he was just sitting there chatting her business. I went and picked her up. I've done this for her family. I've done this, I've done that. It was a bit like, you guys are in your feelings, I get it, but you're talking her stuff across the whole table to a bunch of people that don't really know her like that. It just seemed a bit it just seemed out of line. Now, the good part is I did love seeing Kimmy get her new Jeep from Maurice. That was so sweet. Like, it lifted the mood, and it is well deserved for her because I think she's just such a sweetie. And it was a nice moment to see. And I'm sure Maurice was very happy that night. I'm sure he got some nookie that night and a couple of nights after that. So hopefully we won't see him complaining and his mission is accomplished. Now, the man them link up at the gym was funny. You know, Courtney, Martell and Chris. Chris, I think, is hilarious, especially when he's jabbing at Martell and telling him, you know, like, what the hell is going on with him? You need to get out the house. But yes, I agree. You do need to get out the house. Now, Courtney is not a fan of Marsau. He made that clear. He thinks Marsau is a bit too sassy on the mouth. And we all know, I do admit and I do agree that, you know, Stormy should not have called him a bitch in that setting. Particularly, you're in a meeting. It's not like they were just hanging out at a barbecue and you called him that. You were in a meeting setting. I don't think it was right. So I do agree with Martell telling Courtney, essentially, you know, you should also speak to your wife, saying you shouldn't say certain things to a man. But obviously, Courtney still had his wife's back, which is fair, because he knows that Marsau is a wind-up. And they all know that because Marsau definitely does say too much. He goes too damn far sometimes. He's just got this little dickhead attitude sometimes. And, you know, that's just the way he seems to be. But it's a lot to deal with. I know that I would be cussing off the man myself at times. I can't lie. Now, Melody and her friendship with Kiki is interesting to me because they mostly show them chatting Tisha. It could just be the editing, but it does seem like they definitely have bonded over this, you know, Tisha situation, because we know that Melody did have problems with Tisha quite a lot of the episodes that we've seen and seasons that we've seen. And obviously they have somewhat of a bond, but then also they do say that they have their own friendship, but we don't see it as much. We see mostly them chatting about that. But anyway, when she popped up on Kiki and her husband at the storage, I was with Mel when she said, oh, you know what, we should do something to shut down these rumours. Maybe you should do a drug test. But I bought a drug test? No, you're out of line, Mel. But hilarious at the same time. I was thinking, Mel is absolutely messy. Okay, it's good for the TV, it's good drama. But if you're supposed to be her friend, how are you just rocking up with a test? No. That's doing a bit way too much. Come along, make the suggestion, but you buying the test makes you seem way too invested. Like, what's it got to do with you? It's just way too much. I don't think Kiki will do the test. Like I said in a few of my previous reviews, I do think something's off with Kiki. I don't know what's going on there, but it could be the stuff that she's taken to help get her off the drugs. I don't know, but something is definitely off there. So, but I don't know if she'll do this test. I doubt it very much. She made me laugh when she said that she'll do it if Marsau does a lie detector. Please. This man is not doing no lie detector. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he'll do that anyway. But anyway, what did you guys think of the episode? Are you team Tisha or Kiki? Do you think Marsau is cheating out there? Or do you think they have some sort of agreement? Or he's got people signing NDAs and everything's just well hidden and so he's a mastermind at it? Or is he just innocent and people are coming for him? Or do you think that Kiki is doing this because she hasn't really got a storyline and, you know, she just wanted to make sure she could get on the show? Like, what do you think of Mel popping up with this drug test situation? I think it's good TV, but it's absolutely messy as hell. So what did you think of the episode? Let me know your thoughts below.
Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.